Today we're going to be breaking a beat that I worked on a few weeks ago. It's very Travis Scott inspired. We have a bunch of cool abrasive synths, guitars, and cool punchy drums. I'm going to be breaking down some of the techniques I use to achieve these cool synth textures, as well as the guitars, and yeah, I think you guys are going to like it a lot. I was given a Kalimba as a gift a few months ago for Christmas, I believe. You can pick one of these up for like $30 on Amazon. They're super cheap. They're just a cool, fun instrument to have around the house. For me, I don't know, I have it sit on my desk every once in a while. I'll make something with it, and this was one of those cases. It's just in C major. That's what it kind of sounds like. I have 2 layers. First one sounds like this. And then underneath it I have this. Then I messed around with recording a few vocal samples. I got those affected just by adding some simple auto-tune, reverb, and an EQ to get rid of some of the high and low ends in my vocals. And then I pitched it down 6, and we have a few different versions here. So this is the original one, the first one that I bounced out. I put halftime on it though, so it's slowed down as you guys can hear. We have halftime, we have an EQ, RC20, another EQ. I have one that is pitched up an octave on top of it now, not half-timed. And then I have one that is pitched down an octave at normal speed. It like faintly reminds me of like some like the textures from Armed and Dangerous by Juice WRLD, just the bounce I would say right now, but we have a long way to go. So now that was the intro, the first 8 bars. After that we get into a second section. It's introed with this guitar lead. To keep it moving, we have this drum loop that comes in. I'm pitching it down an octave, taking out a bunch of the high end here, and then compressing it as well. With this preset called Dirty Drums, it's just really saturizing it. Now if we skip over here, everything that is grayed out above here is just vocal clips and stuff that I was working on, stuff that needed to get quantized, guitar tracks and stuff, so it's going to stay muted. We're going to focus on the stuff down here. So in the chorus section, you can hear a little bit more of that vocal that I said I recorded before. I brought in this perk loop. I'll put the chord diagrams on screen so you guys can see this much easier, but this is how you play it. For my effects on it, this is what it sounds like without anything. Barely audible. This guitar amp here. Just Corey Wong on the default preset, but I have this drive knob over here flicked up. Sometimes I'll throw this bright knob up, but I'm leaving it down here as well. But then we're just messing around with the presence, and then the treble. We have a chorus, an imager that it's going to give it a little bit more space in both of your ears, widen it out a little bit. I always like to image my guitars, like if I'm using like electric guitars in this sense, for sort of like glue tracks, as I like to call them. Just like they tuck behind the main melody, we don't start with them. As you guys saw, we started with the Kalimba, and we have like bass and synths that come in too that are able to sit on top of that guitar, but they really just help glue the track together in a subtle way. We're not trying to have them overpowering in the mix. Then I have that guitar track that was bounced out and it was reversed. This, I just pressed reverse on it, and then I chopped every half a bar and then like flipped the order so everything was playing the same chords all the way through. This is what that sounds like. And now we have a bunch more guitar leads that come in. First one we have is this guy. Effects on that guitar, we have Archetype Corey Wong again on the Minneapolis DI preset. We have tape Mellify, and then I have an EQ taking out low end again. Now moving into the synth elements. It's actually a pizzicato sound from Labs that has RC20 on it, tape delay, and the bad flanger preset, which is giving it a little bit of detune and cool wobble, and then another tape mellify. So really, we just have like the tape plugin trifecta right now, really just trying to make it sound dirty and a little bit detuned. That's what it sounds like without all of those. After this, I have this big synth that comes in. It's from the Farfisa 5 synth. It is the Midtown preset, and this is what it looks like. So we have a B major 9 chord here for the first chord, with the 3rd up top, and the 5th up top as well. And we do a little skip up here to a C sharp major chord. It goes down to an A sharp minor chord with the 5th at the top note, the F right here, down an octave. And then we're just going back to this progression for the second 4 bars of the pattern. And then I have a few cool runs here. I have this G sharp that sort of starts a melody here. This is what it sounds like. This is the melody that I'm trying to highlight within these chords. This run here that leads into this chord, which gives it a cool little feel. And then another glide, literally hitting every single note, just making sure they're quiet and not staying on notes too long so you don't really hear them. They just sort of create a feeling that runs up to that A sharp at the top. And then I have this F just transitioning back down, sort of a passing note to the D sharp, C sharp here, and then back up to G sharp, another run. And then for effects on it, I have a bunch of stuff. That's what it sounds like without anything. First thing I have is pitch shifter, pitching it down an octave. Stereo shaper. Super a fun thing. I don't know if you guys have ever used this plugin, but it's a stereo shaper. It just changes the way that things are imaged in your ears. A lot of the times I like to just straight mono stuff. It's cool for making sounds, certain sounds and frequencies fit in within like synths or guitars or something that you guys are working on. They just doesn't feel like it's sitting right. I don't know. Try throwing a stereo shaper on it. Might fix it up. Make it sit a little bit more clean in both ears. We have our sub basic on our root notes. Then this F is a passing note that I thought sounded good in the progression. A lot of stuff on the bass. We have RC20 on it, the Vinyl 1 preset, few EQs, just taming some frequencies in there, a distortion plugin on the bass preset. It's just bringing it out a little bit more. We have a few cool leads in here with synths. No real strategy coming up with this melody, but what I did do is start with clicking in this, and then I just stacked a few notes that I thought sounded good on top of them. So it sounds like without effects. Then giving it most of its character is this Archetype Corey Wong on the Bad Batch preset. Super distorted, overblown. We have an imager widening. An EQ that's going to be getting rid of a lot of high frequencies and then a lot of those low frequencies too that guitar amp is going to create. Taming the sound a little bit. Spring reverb, again, it's used to drown out that guitar amp, keep the sound a little bit cleaner and less abrasive. And then I also have the reverb before the guitar amp, so the reverb gets a little bit distorted by the guitar amp too, which I think is always a cool sound. And then I have sound shifter pitching it up an octave with the mix knob back over here, so we're getting that up an octave version along with the normal octave version together. And then I have a second lead with the Mellotron here, playing something similar to the first one. And then after that, we are into the drum section. Here's our kick pattern. And then we have this rim that hits every time our snare hits as well, just to make it sound a little bit louder, create something new there. Just blending sounds, I always like to do that. I'm trying to find like rims and snares and snares and snares that fit well on top of each other. That just creates something new. Then we have this perk that I'm using as a hi-hat today. Sounds like this. And then I'm using Easy Drummer for the tom sounds. Have them hitting here and here. And those are all the elements to the beat.